Hello and welcome to your Geography's online class, my dear students. Today, in this class, we will be dealing with a new chapter, that is natural vegetation. In this chapter, we will be discussing about the natural vegetations that is found in India and also know about what natural vegetation is all. As we all know that India is a vast country with variations in the climatic pattern and its landforms. The vegetative covers in India also differs likewise and are affected by the climates that different regions in India experiences. So in this class, let us first know about the natural vegetation and different types of natural vegetation found in India, and then we will discuss about how they are affected as per the climate of that particular place. So the first thing to discuss is natural vegetation. So the question is, what is natural vegetation? In very simple words, we can define natural vegetation as vegetation that grows on its own without any human support is natural vegetation. Just like forest. So to say, we did not plant those trees in the forest. Yes, we must have planted trees around our surroundings, but not in the forested areas. So how did they grow? So all those trees and plants that grows in the forest makes up the natural vegetation. As they grow on their own, depending on the climatic factors. So they are known as natural vegetation. In India, such natural vegetations are classified under various categories. So now, let us discuss about different types of forest or natural vegetation found in India. But before that, these natural vegetations that grows in different places are mostly affected by two factors. Let us see what are they. So we see factors affecting the growth of vegetation or natural vegetation. There are basically two factors. The first factor being climate. Climate in which we see temperature and rainfall. And the other factor is relief. So these are the two major factors that affects the natural vegetation of a place. Climate, mostly including temperature and rainfall, and relief of the region. So based on this climatic pattern and relief, the Indian natural vegetation is classified under following heads. Now let's see them. The first type of climate is based on So the first classification is made on the basis of climate of a place. So here these are the 4 different types of natural vegetation in India, and it's based on the climate of India. The tropical evergreen forest, deciduous monsoon forest, desert or semi-desert forest, and thorn and scrub forest. Now based on relief, so based on relief, we have 2 different types of natural vegetation. One is the mountain forest and the other is tidal forest. So now let us discuss these natural vegetation found in India in details. So the first one, let's discuss about tropical evergreen forest. As the name suggests, tropical and evergreen, this kind of vegetation is mostly found in the tropical region of India. They are so called evergreen because it remains green throughout the year. That means the forest does not look like as if it's shedding its leaves. It looks completely green. This type of natural vegetation is mostly found in the areas experiencing tropical climate. Where the temperature ranges between 25 degrees centigrade to 27 degrees centigrade, and rainfall here is more than 200 centimeters annually. So the regions which experience the temperature of 25 to 27 degrees centigrade on an average, and the rainfall is over 200 centimeters, such places experiences tropical, in fact such places has tropical evergreen forest. The places that receives rainfall over 200 centimeters are the 2 specific regions in India where rainfall exceeds over 200 centimeters and the temperature ranges between 20-25 degrees centigrade. It's western part of Western Ghats and the windward side of Garo Khasi Hills. Apart from these 2 regions, the places or states like Assam, West Bengal, or the foothills of the Himalayas, Karnataka, Kerala, these are also the region where, or states where, so good amount of rainfall occurs, that is over 200 centimeters, and hence this place also has a tropical rainforest region. The tropical evergreen forest, also known as tropical rainforest, because this forest is mostly dependent on the amount of rainfall that it receives. The island region of India, that is Andaman and Nicobar Island, on the eastern bays of in the waters of Bay of Bengal, also has tropical evergreen forest. As its characteristics, since the forest receives good amount of rainfall, or tropical evergreen forest grows in areas of heavy rainfall, hence the forest is also known as rainforest. The forest has tall and hardwood trees The forest has tall and hardwood trees mostly characterized by broad leaves. The trees that grows here are tall, hardwood type and has broad leaves. So these broad leaves that grows, so these broad leaves forms a canopy, that is a roof-like structure, and does not allow easy penetration of sunlight inside the forest. So hence, the ground of this forest mostly remains wet and are swampy in nature. The ground inside the forest is quite swampy and wet because of heavy rainfall and no penetration of heat or light inside the forest due to the broad leaves the trees that grows here have. The forest also has many climbers and epiphytes. The forest has climbers and epiphytes that grows as most part of the undergrowth inside this forest. There is also an implication to this forest, disadvantage that we call it. The forest, which is mostly dominated by hardwood trees like rosewood, sesame and gurjan, whose characteristic seems to be very important in building materials. So the hardwood trees that grows here like rosewood, sesame and gurjan, they have good importance as because they are hardwood type and they are mostly used in making expensive furnitures, railway sleepers and also used as building materials for different houses. But the forest is not economically so important. If we see the economic importance of the forest, the economic importance of the forest is low. In fact, we can say that tropical evergreen forest is not economically exploited. Why? The first reason is the swampy ground of the forest. In fact, you can say the ground is so wet because of heavy rainfall that moving inward towards the forest is very difficult. Number two, the forest is dense. The forest is dense with mostly covering the areas with in the lower regions with the epiphytes and the climbers, hence moving inside becomes very difficult. And the third and the important factor is that the forest is not found in pure stands. That means the forest is not where a single species of trees grows in a large area. It is a mixed type forest where the species of trees varies from one region to another. Hence, economically it is not very important. So this is for the class today. Thank you, class.